Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. On a previous video I've shown how to install FreeBSD version 1, but I had lots of problems and went through a lot of pain because I was using a software called PCEM. In the meantime, I've been looking at that, how to make installation go really smoothly, and I found a software which is called 86box, which does the work. However, 86box was not ported to FreeBSD, so I decided to port it myself to FreeBSD. It's currently under the scrutiny, so it's going to land in the ports tree at some point in time. But I'm going to show you, if you want to do some experiments, how you can pull the patch from the ports tree, how you can compile 86box, how you can install FreeBSD 1.0 without any sorts of pain. And we're going to explore a little bit the first version of FreeBSD and install X Windows and do some networking. Okay, so let's do it. The first thing that you need is you need to have a CD-ROM from FreeBSD. I have it already here, so FreeBSD version 1.0. You can see I have the ISO file. And we need to mount this file here to get the floppy drive. So let's start by doing that. We can say su. Okay, home tg, FreeBSD version 1.0. And then we need to use mdconfig minus f FreeBSD. And we have it set up as md0. The next thing is we need to mount this disk. It's a CD-ROM, so it should be a CD9660. It's placed at MD0, and let's put this at /media. All right, so let's see what is in media. We have the install. So first of all, let's have a short look at the README. Here it gives you an idea about the files that are existing, so the directories. And here we're going to do a CD-ROM installation, which is the one which is less painful. For that, we just need one floppy. Let's see here the media. We need the CD install. And we can have a look at the README file also there, cd install, install.txt. We can go here to the beginning and we see already that we can use an Adaptec 154X series. One thing, let me see if it's mentioned here, 16. No, it's not mentioned here, but I did dig into some documentation and found out one really important factor. If you use this Adaptec 154X, you should not configure more than 16 megabytes of memory in your computer. Otherwise, you're going to be going for some serious pain. So I'm telling you this up front. If you want to do this stuff by yourself, then please don't configure the virtual machine or the emulated machine with more than 16 megabytes of memory, at least on an initial phase, as long as you have a SCSI controller. Okay, we need the CD ins AH. We could use for BuzzTech or Ultra Store, we could use the BT image, but we are going to take the AH. We just need one, so cp/media and cd installed cd ins ah.flp. We copy it here. Okay, and let's see. There we go. It's an image for a floppy 1.2 megabytes in size. So ch on tg cd. So It all looks fine. And for the time being, I think I'm happy with this. So unmount /media and mdconfig -d0 and u. No, mdconfig. I always forget this command. So let's see. It's the other way around. It's d and -u. The d is to detach the disk. mdconfig -d u0. All right. I think we're not going to need this anymore. So let's go here. For now, in order to start using this floppy, we are going to need to configure 86 box. It's currently installed in my system, but let's pull it from the ports, and we need to go to the Bugzilla because this is still not official in the ports tree. So here you can see it's the bug ID report 280205 was submitted by myself, and you have a git patch here. So we can click here on the git patch. We download a file, I hope, yes. Save page, and we can save the patch file here. Okay, we are done with this now. And we should have one patch file, which, as I said, it's currently not official in the ports tree, but is already useful if you want to do things. Yeah, it contains everything that you need to build the 86 box. So for that, let's call a directory ports. Let's move this file into the ports tree, which is local here. And I'm going to show you something that you can use currently for this special patch, because this special patch creates all the files necessary. So it's not a differential patch, but it's a complete patch. So it does complain a little bit, but it does what it should be doing. So patch-p1, and we insert this one here. Okay, so there are some questions here, etc. It basically created the directory, emulators, the 86 box, and it created some original files, so which are basically 0 files because they were not existing. They should be deleted. And we just have the make file, the dist info, and the package description. All right, now it's really simple. Just type make and wait a little bit. Okay, so as you can see, I was able to compile without any problems, and this is occupying 40 megabytes of space. There is a directory called work which has been created. This is part of the normal ports process, and inside this it's a little bit hidden, but let's reveal it like this. There is a build directory, a .build, where our executable is basically there. So this is under the source. We have our executable, the 86 box file. 86 box is an executable. Okay, let's try to go for it. And as you can see, this is already executing. So one thing I didn't mention before, which is kind of important, is you see that this is starting. So it's started the simulation, the emulation. But if you do this by yourself, you're going to see that it's going to ask you for some ROMs, but it's going to give you the link to the GitHub page where you can download them. The question would be, where do you place the ROMs? In my case, I decided to place them under this directory. So the home directory, with a .local share 86 box ROMs. So this is where I have the things. If you want to make it more global for every users on the system, then you can place them under user local share 86 box ROMs. The program also creates a configuration file, which is going to be representative of the machine that you are building, that you are executing. So you might want to keep that configuration file for later on, whenever you want to start the FreeBSD system. You are going to have a configuration file for every emulated machine that you want to create. So now I stop it. Yes. Another thing I forgot to mention, but let's have a look at this now, is here under the make file. To compile this, you have some requirements, and you see some requirements here. In particular, it depends on the free type, on the evdev proto, libfree type, libslurp, etc. And here also a couple of more things that it requires and that it uses. So it's currently installed in my system. If you want to do this by yourself, maybe the system is not going to pull the files for you immediately, so you need to compile this by yourself or to install them with the PKG. All right. So now I'm going to go to the original directory, so FreeBSD version 1 here. So I recreated the ports. I've shown you how to do this, to create 86 box. I have it installed globally in my system, so I can just execute from here. 86 box, it should be working. There we go, it is. And now we're going to start creating the machine to boot FreeBSD. So let's do this carefully. We go to settings under the tools menu. And here let's go for all the options. Under the machine, we are going to select 486, i386, i486. We can just leave this with the top one, the data expert. CPU type, we can go for a nice one, the AMD, the 486DX2, that is going to run at 80 megahertz. Here, very important, the memory, as I said, do not exceed the 16 megabytes, at least in the initial phase. So let's put it 8 to be on the safe side. And we should be fine here with all the settings for now. Under display, we put a nice graphics card that's also supported by FreeBSD version 1. We go for the Phoenix, the S3 Phoenix, the 86C801. We can configure here, make 2 megabytes of memory. We don't need a second video card, and we are fine in this menu. For the input devices, we're going to need a mouse later on, but we can configure it already now. Let's go for a Logitech serial mouse, configured in COM1. Let's emulate 2 buttons, and let's put the protocol a little bit older, so the R7 version 1. The sound, currently we are not going to need the sound options. Network, we select a slurp interface, or a slurp mode, sorry. And the adapter, we can see the Novell NE2000 on an ISA 16 slot. Here we configure the IRQ to be number 5. So very important not to have IRQ conflicts, need to configure those settings carefully. Address 300 is supported by FreeBSD version 1. On the ports, we have enabled the serial port 1, serial port 2, and the parallel port. Here on the LPT device, we don't install anything for now. Storage controllers, here I like to select dual channel, a PC80 ID controller on an ISA 16 card. And here, this is the very important part, the SCSI controller. We go for the 154X, okay? And here the address we're going to have to set to 330, IRQ11, DMA6, host ID 7. Here BIOS address we can leave it as disabled. This is the setting that FreeBSD requires. Hard disks, we create a new one. We specify the directory here, so we say simply disk.img.img, save. And I like to be a little bit naughty here. I put a 1 gigabyte hard drive. So please notice that the cylinders, we're going to need this, are 2080, 16 heads, 63 sectors. It's on channel 0.0. It's an IDE disk. Okay. Inserted the floppy drives. We remove the second one. We don't need it. For the first one, we had a 1.2 megabyte floppy. So we select here. And I think it works without checking this, but it's better to uncheck the check BPB. Makes it better. Other removable here, I don't need any zip drives, MO drives, and other peripherals, some real-time clock, memory expansion. We don't need this. Okay. Save. Now, when the machine starts, it's going to complain about the BIOS. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to resize the screen so you can see it a little bit better. And before I press F1, I'm going to do already some things here. The first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to go for the floppy drive. Okay, I forgot. Very good. I see here. So on the settings, this is going to reboot the machine again. Under the floppy CD-ROM drive, we need to set a CD-ROM drive. So I selected the 5¼ floppy disk, and I completely forgot here the CD-ROM needs to be a SCSI disk. Okay, we can, this setting is okay, the 86 box CD-ROM 1.00, channel 00, it's also good. Save settings, and when I save, the machine is going to reboot. Okay, starts again, and now we can see that there is another icon down here. So when we start, before setting up the configuration, we go for the floppy, put an existing image. We could put an existing image with write protection, but I don't know exactly why, but FreeBSD does write to the floppy image. So you cannot use the write protected option. You need to do it as read-write. If you like to keep the disks pristine, exactly as they were inside the CD-ROM image, then I recommend you first to do a copy and then to boot from that floppy, because that floppy is going to be, some parts are going to be written over. Since I know that this is going to work now, I've done quite a lot of extensive experiments to get to this video. I'm just going to write into the image without any problem. So I just select this thing here. You see the icon turns to red. The CD-ROM, here very, very interesting. We could mount a folder as a CD-ROM in the disk. This can come in handy if you want to export some folder to the emulated machine. You can do it through a CD-ROM. Really nice option. I've not seen this in any other software. The only thing is, if you change some files in the folder, you need to unmount and mount again the folder. And of course, inside the machine, unmount the CD-ROM and mount it again. And since it's a CD-ROM, you cannot write to it. It's a read-only, but it's a really nice way to transfer files to the virtual machine. I keep calling it virtual machine, but it's an emulated machine. So please forgive me if in the next I just call it virtual machine. It's just, it's a question of being used to say that word. Okay, the image, we go here and we take our ISO that we've selected, click on open. And now I'm ready because I've put a floppy, I've put a CD, the network card is running, everything is running. I'm ready to configure the BIOS. Click F1. So let's go to the standard setup. Here we see that 1.2 megabyte is already done and configured, and the hard disk C, we can configure it, but there is an easier way to do it, which is going to the auto detect hard disk option. Click enter. This also means that if you do the auto configuration, that the emulated machine can talk to the controller and can see the hard disk, and with the correct size, the 2080, 16 heads, 63 sectors. Landing zone 2080 and the WP comma, I forget this parameter, but 65535 means it's disabled. It's okay. So we accept, yes. For D, there is nothing installed, no. And basically that's it. Nothing more to be changed. Let's go for the advanced CMOS. I don't do any change here, just that you see how it looks for me. Advanced chipset. Okay, I also don't do any change here, looks fine for me. And we just write to CMOS and exit, yes. Now it starts booting from the floppy. And because 86box is an amazing software, it just runs smoothly. You install it like, it does feel like a very modern installation of a FreeBSD. It's just that the interface looks archaic, but the experience is now really, really nice. Welcome to FreeBSD. Thank you. Found the SCSI CD-ROM in /dev CD0A. Proceed with installation. For sure, yes. Takes a little bit of time here. Is it an ID drive? Yes, it is. It cannot read, it's not initialized. That's okay. But here the question, are you sure that the ST506 is correct? And here we answer yes. Now we are going to configure the partitions and we need to do the labeling. We can just give it the standard label. And now we're going to be a little bit careful. Total number of cylinders, it's not 1024, but if you remember, 2080. Number of heads was 16. Number of tracks was 63. This is my naughty 1 GB hard disk, which would not work with MS-DOS. MS-DOS can only see half of this disk. When I was younger, I did buy a 1 GB hard disk and I did experience this problem in practice. It was really nice. And by then I was using also Linux, and Linux could handle the entire hard disk, such as FreeBSD can also do it without problems. Okay, install on the entire disk. We go for yes. Here, yes. Now the root partition, they suggest should be no larger than 50 megabytes, but we have a large disk. We are just going to, I propose here to make it 200. It's more or less, almost 10 times as much, not so much, but it is just for playing. Okay, this is the root partition. Now we press enter and it takes a little bit of time, but it goes through. The swap space, they recommend the same as the memory size, so 8 megabytes if I'm not mistaken, or 16. We have a large disk. I don't think it will be too bad just to get 100 cylinders. So yeah, it's about 50 megabytes if I'm not mistaken. So let's go for it. The next partition is the /user partition. Just take the entire disk, about 800 megabytes. That's a large partition. Yes, under user. And that's it. I don't want verbose. sorry, I don't want verbose. And now we are at the point where we just say yes and we sit down and wait. See how nice experience this is until now? Okay, let's go for it. Okay, so we arrive now to the point that it's asking us for the host name, and I like to give it alpha.bsdjedi.org. This is the domain name. Yes. Does it have an Ethernet interface? Yes, it does. The host name is FreeBSD Jedi, yes, the IP address, and now here this is an important setting. For the slurp mode, you should select the 10.0.2.15. This is the IP address that you should configure inside the virtual machine. Does it have special network mask? No, it's 255.255.255.0 or in hexadecimal FF00. If you select here no, it automatically takes that setting. Does this network need additional flags? No. And we are done. So we type in halt. We log in as root, no password, just terminal type PC3, looks good. You name -A, it's fine. The first thing that I would like to do is to install bash in this system, because currently the shell doesn't have proper arrow keys and no history. So it's going to make life a little bit difficult to move around, and bash does have cursor going left and right and the history. And one thing that I'm going to say up front is that you're going to see me probably mistyping a couple of commands. The thing is that FreeBSD has a keyboard layout in English, and I'm using a German keyboard, and sometimes I'm searching where are the keys in the keyboard. I think I mostly know them by heart, but sometimes I do need to search for the keys. Anyways, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a directory for CD-ROM. And I make a notice that I'm trying to do this video in a single shot, so without too much editing. Maybe sometimes I sneeze in the in the video and I cut the sneeze out. That's okay, but the video is a single shot. Okay. Now we're going to mount. Here it would be called the ISOFS /dev/cd0a/cd-rom. You see, no tab. Nice. Okay, so CD-ROM is mounted. 1 kilobyte blocks. It's that's that one there. That looks fine. CD-ROM. Let's look for the first thing. Alias, I think is here. Yes. ls-af, ls-la. Okay, it didn't work. Oops, no errors. Alias ls, ls-af. Okay, so it's a slightly different syntax. Yes, I like to see the slashes at the end to know those are directories. And A just gives the dots additionally. Good. So the first thing I'm going to do is look for let's see what is inside the packages. And we have bash source, you see here. And first let me see it. So tar tv xvzf packages bash underscore, unbelievable that I can type this without any mistake. It's a bash directory, so let's go here to /user ports, cd ports. Now tar xvzf /cdrom packages bash src.tgz. We should be fine. Okay. Uncompress everything. We have some comments and contents, that's okay. So cd bash. And the first thing that I would like to do is edit the makefile. And here, let me see if I can find it. Okay, let's search for it. GNU. Not there. Okay. ls. Then let's configure make. Okay, I saw some copy of a makefile, so I was looking at the wrong makefile. We're going to have to edit this afterwards. So we're going to compile bash, and I think I saw it passing by version 1.02. Okay, and now let's again look at the makefile, and let's again search for GNU. Still doesn't find. Okay, yeah, then make install. Looks nice. Bash. Awesome. /bin/bash. Okay, I'm not sure exactly why this was like this. It's probably because this was part of the correct ports. I think there is another bash in the CD-ROM. Doesn't matter. We have so where is bash? I think yes, /bin/bash. So let's make this the default shell. So not vim. The first thing we need to do is vi on etc/shells. Copy. Okay, this was wrong key, wrong keyboard. And add bash here and chsh shell bin bash. Now I exit and try to log in. Hopefully nothing bad happened. Awesome. Now I do have key, so I can go back, and I do have history. This is really, really good. The CD-ROM is still there. The first thing I would like to do is to start configuring the prompt in a nice way. So let's see here, vi dot bash actually dot profile. And let's put here export ps1. Let's see if I can do this. Again, the keyboard. And I put okay, awesome. So backspace user at host name. And here we put the current working directory, and we put the hash and a space. Okay, this looks pretty good. And I want to have an alias ls equals lsaf. And if I'm not mistaken, let me see, df is in 512 blocks. Okay, I don't want that. So I'm going to do an alias df equals to df dash k. Exit and try to log in again. Root df, now it's with 1 kilobyte blocks, so it looks better. ls has the ... so it looks good, and the prompt of course looks much more modern. You name, now I have tab for auto completion. So this is really getting bash to run for me. It's a must, otherwise it's really difficult to navigate inside the machine. Let's try to do some additional things here, which is let's go to the CD-ROM. Let's go to the packages, and let's see everything that is bin. What can we install? We have, look at this, we have Vim. That's pretty good. So, but the first thing we need to do is we need to install pkg. So where can we find pkg? We have probably some tarballs. ls. Not a tarballs, so let's see. Ports tgz. Also not here. So let me see. It should be in that directory, under the packages. Let me see, actually see this thing here. Ah, there we go. The package install. So tar tvzf pkg install, and now I have the so we have the pkg install dot tar.gz. Looks good, which is with pkg_add. Let's go here. So tar extract, I want to visualize the things. It's a zip, gzip, and a file under CD-ROM packages pkg install.targz. All right. Do we have cd miners? Yes, we do. It's really modern. So let's see some of the bin files that we have. So one of them is Vim. So pkg add Vim binary. And do we have Vim? Yes, we do. Help. Vim version 1.27. Quit. There is another one that is here that it's the while bin, also pretty good, and it's also a bin. So ls bin. So as you can see, it's not very consistent, the names of the packages, but the while bin is also a Vim clone that allows to do actually double windows. We're going to see. I'm going to actually add this one, the while bin, and you're going to see that this is so while. It's another Vim clone, but it's kind of a mixture with Emacs. You have Control-A, Control-H, Control-A, H. It's yeah. But the nice thing, it allows to open Windows here. So we're going to see if we can use this. So search for window. Yeah, some buffers and windows. Probably there is a way to open some files. Edit a file in the current window. Make two windows, splits the window in half, etc. Move to next window. Okay. quit all. Okay, quit. That's fine. I'm going to try to see if I can use this afterwards. ls star bin star. What else can we install? We could install gopher. We can try for that later on. pkg add gopher bin. MISC utilities and tools Octave. Interesting enough, the first version of FreeBSD came with Octave. We can install this one. Shell utils TCL, TC shell, tickle, TC shell, TK, tickle TK, xlock, XV. Okay, XV, I do remember XV quite well. This was my Xviewer for files. Yeah, it's this version is there. Nice. We're going to explore a couple more files later on, but now we are going to try and do one of the awesome things, which is install the X server. For that, we're going to go to the packages directory. No, sorry, not packages. We're going to go to the tarballs directory. The bin dist was already installed. I think the object, the source distribution. So the source is the kernel sources. We might want to install that. X3 the sources, but here is the compiled one, which we want to go into, x386. And to install, we just need to run the extract sh. So /extract, and we let it run. All right, so it's installed. As I said, we go to the packages folder and we should have the FVWM version 0.99. So pkg add FVWM. And just by the fun of it, pkg add, we put the xv bin. And just again, for the fun of it, pkg add Emacs bin. Emacs used to be called the 8 megabytes and constantly swapping. So that's it. How much? How are we with hard disk space? We are using amazingly 130 megabytes. That's awesome. That's quite a lot. Now, to configure the X server, we need a xconfig in the /etc file folder. They provide us, by installing x386, they provide a template which we can find. Let's use it with vim /user x386 lib x11 and xconfig.sample. So we have here a sample file that I'm just going to copy, and here is where this thing here comes really handy. Going to copy to /etc/xconfig. Nice. Now, the next thing that I want to do is go to this directory, user xlib x11, I think here. And let me see. There is app defaults, etc, I think. etc. Yes, and we have some README files here. In particular, let's see the README dot. I think the one that is going to be interesting is going to be the config. Yes, where we have generic video modes here, number 7. We're going to need this for later on. So let's search for generic video modes. There we have, and there we have. So this is those sections we need this for the file. Now let me try to do this by hand. So while readme.config, yeah, and maybe I don't know how to use this very well, but like this we get a help, and I think we can edit from here etc xconfig. Yes, we can have both. How can I change the window? Oops, Control AH. Ah, we have another window. So get rid of this window. So Control K. Yep, it gets rid of it. Control AH. So how can the cursor jump to the other one? Get complete. Your screen hops. So cursor. Edit the path name. Kill. Okay, that doesn't look very nice. Let me see my notes. Control XO. Control XO. Yes, Control XO. Yes. Okay, and here Control K. Control XO. I'm just looking at my notes here. So now I'm going to search for generic video modes. Here, next one. Here, awesome. And go down. I want to have at least a 680 for here, 800 by 600. So YY, Control XO. I've not tried this before, but let's see if it works well. At the very end of this file, we are missing the modes, but this file does have modes, and yes, it pasted. Awesome. W, Q, yeah, it worked. This file is really cool. Okay, I will use it again. While etc xconfig. So I like to keep this thing clean. So let's remove all these things. So the first one we leave it. The font path we also leave. Leave it alone, no touching. XQ, and now we come to the keyboard configuration. Here we can just leave it like this. The mouse configuration. Now, although it says a Logitech here, I'm going to add here a Microsoft and /dev/com1. So before doing anything, let's just exit. And ls/dev/com1, it's non-existing. ls-la dev, I happen to know it's TTY00. And for this port, it should be the device number 28 with a minor number 0. So this looks fine, the TTY00 for the first COM port. So let's edit that in place. TTY00. Baud rate, sample rate. Here we should leave the emulate 3 buttons because we want exactly that one. We have 2 buttons. So the middle one is when we click, we capture the mouse. As you can see, the middle button releases the mouse. So how do we emulate the third button? We click both left and right at the same time, and this is the emulation of the 3 buttons. So what is the driver? It's not a VGA256. We don't need this. Okay, Accel. For accelerated servers, S3, etc. So we leave here, this is the Accel. And yeah, we could go for the 1024 times 768, but I'm going just to go for the 800 by 600. That is already fine. Viewports in the modes, we leave these ones. here, delete. You see that by learning VI, it's a really good investment when I learned VI, because what other editor do you have here in the system? Is VI saving the day, as always. Long league VI, Vim. So modedb, we need to leave this, and this, if you remember, this was the last line we copied from that file, the readme.config, and this contains the magic numbers here for the that are necessary to configure the monitor to do the 800 by 600, which is just going to go fine with this emulated machine. So again, let's go from the beginning of the file. Then we have the RGB path, the font path, the keyboard. Yeah, I just leave these options here commented, and you could remove them. We need a Microsoft mouse with baud rate 9600, sample rate 150, Excel. Okay. Now, before we start and before I fire up the server, we still need to do a couple of things. One of them is to an xinit rc, which is FVWM. We need this. The other thing is we are probably good with, let me see, okay, link dot profile to dot bash rc. Bash rc, so it's currently a link to dot profile. It doesn't show here, but it should. It is a link. And let me just think. Are we ready to fire up the machine? I think so. So before I do that, I'm just going to say one thing that I'm not exactly sure why this is happening, but once you start X, several things can happen. So the first thing, at the very beginning, it can go well or it can go wrong. If it goes wrong, you're probably going to have to reboot the machine. If it goes well, you can use the X, but if you want to exit and return back to this console here, you're going to have to reboot the machine. I didn't find a way to do it in a nice way, but this project has been taking already a little bit longer than expected, and I think as you can see, I'm doing the video in a single shot, and it's currently going really smoothly. So yeah, let's just try to start X. No, okay. I was just saying about smooth. So why didn't this go? Let me think a little bit. I probably know what's happening. And here the dot profile, yeah, slash user slash x386 slash bin, and this was missing. So exit in order to reload the thing. So go here, root, export. So we have path here. Now are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's go for it. Looking good, looking good. Bam! Okay, the machine crashed. So, okay, sometimes it happens. This I've seen that this crash really it's not so often. Yeah, okay. It's bad blocks. I think the machine will reboot by itself. Let's see. OS, okay, yeah. Let's try to see what happens. The video is going well until now, so it has to continue going well. In some other take, I tried and I installed everything, and X server started first time without any sort of issues or trouble. So let's try again. Start X. Looking good so far. This time the machine has started. Okay, and we are in. That's it. This is the X server, so we think we can go here with an X term. Sorry, you're probably seeing things a little bit cut. Let me just show you the button of the machine. So this should be, yep, this is the button where you have here a little bit of a screen here. You can change to other desktops. But yeah, I'm just going to lower this so you can see the machine like that. All right, so let's try the standard one. X eyes. Do we have it? Yes, X eyes and something like this. Ooh, look at this fancy thing. This is pretty nice. What else? Other X? You remember I installed XV, so let's try the XV thing. Yes, John Bradley, I do remember this thing. So version 3.00, he released, if I'm not mistaken, still a couple of versions after this, and then it completely stopped the XV. But it was, yeah, a very early program to view JPEGs and other sorts of images. How do we exit this? I think it's like this. Destroy. I don't like destroy, but move, resize. Okay. Destroy it is. Okay. And I've installed Emacs, but Emacs is naughty. It goes to the user GNU. Yes. And under the user GNU, we have the bin. And we have the Emacs. So let's try user GNU bin. I should put this also in the path on the bash RC. So Emacs. Let's go for it. Yeah, version 19.19.0 from September 93. Okay. In Emacs, I think, hello. I am writing in Emacs. And the only thing I remember was Control XC. Yes, Control XC is to exit Emacs. People make fun that what you need to do to exit Vim is this one here, this command, and I make fun that to exit Emacs is Control XC. Nice. Okay. We are still missing a couple of things. In particular, we are missing internet. So ping 127.0.0.1. This looks fine. Now vmstat. Let's first look at the memory statistics. Also looks pretty nice. df, okay, the CD-ROM is Komsky now because the machine crashed and I had to reboot it. What about network? So netstat. Let's look at the routes. So routes numeric. There is nothing there. If config currently doesn't give you anything, but let's configure the network. I'm not exactly sure. We configured the IP address in the setup script, but it didn't get configured here, so we do it by hand. if config 10.0.0.2.15 with a net mask of 255.255.255.0. No such interface. Yeah, because you need to give it an interface name. Of course, let's not be idiots. So if config ed1 10.0.2.15 net mask 255.255.255.0. Yes, now we have it. Now root add default 10.0.2.2. This is again for the slurp thing, and ping 10.0.2.2, and it can ping. What you're not going to be able to do is to ping outside. So ping 8888. This is a limitation of the slurp thing, because ping requires elevated privileges, some special things. We are running an emulation after all. But fear not. Let's go here, open a new tab. If config, my VLAN, I think we can use the VLAN thing here, and let's type Python -m http server. Okay, but we didn't see Firefox or any browser here. So how can we open this? How can we look at this thing here? So it's on IP address 192.168.2.159, port 8000. Let's try to reach it. Oh, just realized you're not really seeing the eyes. Let's put the eyes here. Okay. Arranging the windows a little bit. Okay, this one does not want to move for whatever reason. Doesn't matter. Okay. So how can we access that? We still have telnet. Okay, so we can say telnet at 192.168.2.159 on port 8000. I think you do it like this. And no web page. Well, but this is talking HTTP. So we can say get / with protocol HTTP 1.0, and again, boom. And we see here the directory listening, so everything is there. HTTP 1.0, 200, this was the answer, 200 OK, was a simple HTTP server with Python. So this is, yeah, we would just need to visualize this in a really nice browser, which we currently do not have. That goes to show that network works. By this time, I think it was with the Gopher. Yeah, let's try to instead of having Python, we can install also Gophers, and let's see, it's pkg search p2 fizz, I think. Then you should do a pip install p2 fizz. Install. I have it already there. No matching p2. Not 2. Okay. Again, 2. Okay. Here the p2 fizz. So this is installed already, and I can just write some script like this. It's a really nice thing, 86box.core, and let's say serve.python and import p2office, probably mispronouncing this, p2office.serve on 192.168.2.259 with support 7070 and public directory equals to dot. Need to write this thing here. Let's do this, and Python serve. p2of is not there. Okay, so pip so I thought it was there. Let's install it like that. Install, okay, and serve. Okay, it's serving here. Now let's go to the machine. Okay, and gopher 192.168.2.159. I think you just say port 7070. Let's try it like this. Gopher, welcome to Gopher. Yep. There we go. Here is the thing. Serve.py. Let's see this file here. It's the script from here. You can see this is it's the Gopher protocol. So okay, sometimes changing with the keyboard it does do these kind of things, but let's stop our server. Vim readme.txt. Hello from FreeBSD 14.1. You are reading this file through the Gopher protocol. Have a nice day. Okay, now we serve this again. We go here, change back. So return to continue, and where is it? So up, refresh F5. I just quit and go again. There is the README text. There is the file. Hello from FreeBSD 14.1. You are reading this file through the Gopher protocol. Have a nice day. Okay, so quit. Enter and Q for quit. Nice. etc. What we have here, so we could be exploring a little bit more in here. What other options we have? So let's start. Let's just have a look at, I think, the services. What kind of services could be here? Netstat, Code, Telnet, SMTP, Whois, all known things. NTP, Network Time Protocol, SFTP. Okay, so the Secure File Transfer Protocol was already there. But with Kerberos, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. You tell me how to pronounce it. Interesting enough, because of some export control things, you can see that in the CD-ROM a couple of things have been removed due to export control, triple DES algorithms and so on. So let's see, mount ISO FS /dev/cd0a and CD-ROM. Do we have any other things that we would like to see? By the way, Octave. I think it was okay. I think I installed Octave. O'clock. We can put the clock also. Yep, the clock is also there. X, what do we have? Xkill, Xclock, Xcalc. A nice calculator, let's say. 15 to the power of 7. Yeah, it's a large number. So destroy. Poor window. This destroy is a nice thing. It's a nasty thing. Xterm, we're there. Xset root, xrdb, xprop, xmodmap. Here we could do with xmodmap, we could possibly change the keyboard layout. Xload. Okay, let's put the xload here. XEV. Let's see the events here. Yep, it see some really old stuff. Destroy. What are the what other things do we have here? The X console, okay, xargs, xauth, xbif, clipboard, clock, event, X console, xedit. That's an interesting thing. I think it's an editor. Yes, quit, load, save. Yeah, so quit. Yeah, so with the quit we can exit normally. Let's see, xprop. Yeah, so we can go here and look at the Windows properties. This is really nice. The X logo, yeah, of course this cannot. I have to put it there. The X logo. Okay, let's go for the CD-ROM under the tarballs. I think we looked at all the stuff. So object distribution, yeah. tar tvzf object here. It's sendmail port map. I think this is. There is one thing I want to have. Let me see. This is probably under the ports tgz. So we are going to try to compile Perl. Expect. Oh, expect is there. So expect. No, we don't have the expect there. GDB, is GDB there? Yep. Version, so quit. GDB version, it's okay. -v maybe. Yeah, 3.5. But here what we have, LHA, what are the files? Less, yes, that was the one I wanted. So user ports, because if I go, I don't know, man df, the manual pages are there, but they are, yeah, this is, yeah, it's with more, but I want less. So tar xvzf CD-ROM ports dgz less. We go to the less directory, type in make. So we didn't have a binary distribution. It's amazing that less does have quite a lot of things, as you can see, and it has evolved in time. So it's a relatively simple program, but it does compile quite some stuff. So let me just say, so less, oh, less is actually installed already. So I didn't really need to compile this. Okay, that's fine. I've shown that it's possible to compile it. So what other ports? Let's see, where the heck did Octave go to? So find here, name Octave. Let's try to find, yeah, user GNU bin Octave. Okay, that's why I could not find it. User GNU bin Octave. Yes, and now 4 times 5 is 20. Thank you. Quit. Yeah. Octave is a MATLAB kind of thing, software. It's the really bare bones version 0.74. Yeah, quite nice. CD-ROM, ports TGZ. And let's do we have any other thing that we would like to explore? Slurp screen, Perl maybe Perl. So then user ports tar xvzf, CD-ROM ports TGZ Perl. Let's see how long does it take to compile, and yeah, it's relatively small. Perl, and how is it? No target, so there we start already. Configure. Can we do the configuration? Okay, I don't know, I'm just 386 user local man, include which models are supported. I'm just pressing enter. It's too many questions. So no, this one, that one, any additional libraries? Yep, maybe this, whatever. Yeah, come on, just give me that. Just do it. Okay. Yeah, I just press enter. I'm not really reading at this point in time. Come on. Okay, make. Can we do it? No, we cannot do it. So ls CD-ROM. I think I saw another Perl under the ports. Okay, interesting. Perl, but this is probably not what I meant. Under the packages, I think there is a Perl source. So let's go here to the CD-ROM packages, tar tvzf, with Perl source. I just want to see what's there. Okay, it's apparently okay. It's so probably this is the modified ports. So let's go to the user ports, remove Perl, and now tar xvzf CD-ROM ports Perl. Where was I before? It was the packages Perl source. And let's just try it one more time. If it doesn't work, I'll just leave it alone. So Perl and make, no target, any VI readme, Perl kit from Larry Wall, and support. Okay, it's a little bit strange, but I'll just try another time the config, and I just press on enter just to make all these things go away. Okay, and if it doesn't compile, it doesn't compile. It's maybe for another episode if someone wants to see it. I don't necessarily need to compile Perl for now. So okay, let's press a couple of more times, enter, make. My gut feeling tells me that this is going to crash again. It's not going to go through, but maybe I will be wrong. Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, so we leave Perl alone. Is there any other thing that we would like to explore? S blaster, sound blaster. Is okay. Let's just see the README, the README on the packages, prepackaged software. Yeah, so unpack CD here. So that was what I was doing. Okay. Does it say anything about Perl? Perl, yep, it's there. So it should, it's prepackaged, so it should run, but it's probably not with a make. It's probably wrong. Okay, this video is becoming now quite long, so I'm just going to do one last thing, which is I'm going to stop the machine and I'm going to reboot it now with lots of memory. And you're going to see that you can do that, but you should not be using the SCSI driver, so the SCSI control. So how do we do this? We halt the machine. So let me just first synchronize the disk and then halt. Okay, so everything just starts powering down. We wait until the machine says it's fine to power down. Yeah. And here what we're going to do is in the configuration, we're going to say SCSI, so the controllers, we are going to say no SCSI controller. In the machine, we can go to, I think even 48, or no, no, we cannot go for that. 32, but you could, I think there is another machine here, the data expert machine. You can go for that one. You can even have 48, and maybe you can find some other configuration where you can even have 64 megabytes of RAM. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, you just saw that it was running fine with X, even with only 8 megabytes of memory. I mean, it's even 1 gigabyte of hard disk is an overkill currently. It's we don't really need that much. Probably BIOS is going to complain. Yes, it complains about some changes. We just need to check that type 47 is there and just write to CMOS and we should be fine. We see definitely that there is much more memory, so 32 megabytes of RAM. And the CD-ROM has disappeared here from down. And the system is just running fine. It's all well. Let's just boot up the things and start FVWM again like before, and let's just go happy about it. So root and start X. Okay, I think I know now why it crashes is because I forget to capture the mouse. I tried the machine again. I did notice this before. It might be something, so I just before starting the X server, probably you should capture the mouse. Okay, something is wrong here, so it's yeah, it doesn't doesn't look very healthy. Let's just click here to capture the mouse, just to make sure that everything is fine. It's those things that take quite a lot of time to evaluate, to see, try one time, try another one. Is like when I'm doing the video and I want to give the recommendations on what went good or what went wrong, how you can replicate things and what you should do or not do. And this takes a lot of time to do that. So now the mouse is captured and I don't expect X to crash. So let's see. And there we go. So I think I didn't do too many experiments, but my best guess is that if we don't capture the mouse before we start the server, then something is going to go really bad. So here, X term again, X eyes, the X load, the X logo, ZBG, okay, X logo. What else did we have? Oh, those are the main ones. The X console, very nice, and XV. And there we go. Everything is running fine. I don't have a JPEG to see now. Otherwise, we could also try the XV. But this video is now very long. I don't. If you manage to see the entire video and come to this point, then you are my hero. If you did that, I hope that you leave some nice comments below if you think I should be looking at something particular next time. If you like the video, then please give it a thumbs up. It really motivates me to do additional work. And I hope you have a great day and enjoy your time. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.